Okay. Verify if a given coordinate point are on the graph of the equation. So the equation we're given is y equals x cubed minus 2 times the square root of x. How do I know if a coordinate point is on the graph? Plug in, and what should happen? The two sides should be equal, right? So in this case, x is 1, y is 1. So that 1 equals 1 squared minus 2 square roots of 1. Well, this is 1 minus 2 times the square root of 1 is 1. 1 minus 2 happens to be negative 1. They're not equal. So is that coordinate point on the graph?
No.
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 Yep, I had enough room. Nope, it's not. Is the coordinate point 1 negative 1 on the graph? Well, this says if x equals 1, y should be negative 1. So is it true that negative 1 is that equal to 1 cubed, and this should have been a cube. I lucked out, didn't I? Minus 2 square roots of 1. This is 1 minus 2. This is negative 1. Negative 1 is equal to negative 1. It checks, so the answer is yes. The thing you have to remember is you put in x, get out y, or you could put in y, get out x, but one forces the other to occur to give you a coordinate point. All the coordinate points together basically form that solid line, what looks to be a solid line graph. All they are is a bunch of squished points. Find the x and y intercepts. We're going to do a lot of that. So it says I've got x squared, 4x squared plus y equals 4. The x-intercept, if I think about it, x-intercept occurs on the x-axis. And on the x-axis, I have some x value. What's the y value? 0. So that says y equals 0. So I'm going to get 4x squared plus 0 equals 4. 4x squared equals 4. X squared equals 1. Now I can use the square root property. Or bring everything to the same side, 0 on the other, factor. But don't forget the plus or minus. So x equals plus or minus 1. So essentially I have 2 of them. And I'm normally I ask you to write x-intercepts as coordinate points. However, if I were graphing and I had plus or minus 1, I'd just leave it, and then I just know where it's located. I don't worry too much about it. Now the y-intercept occurs on the y-axis. If all else fails, guys, and you can't remember, draw a damn graph. You know where the stuff is. Then that gives you an idea of what you need to do to find it. Any coordinate point on the y-axis has an x value of 0 and some y value. So that means I set x equal to 0. So that gives me 4 times 0 squared plus y equals 4, or y equals 4. So it's 0, 4. X and y intercepts.